Ever wondered how to repair any car machine in the world? Well, you're not alone. The world of car mechanics is fascinating, complex, and admittedly a bit intimidating, but the ability to diagnose and repair car machines is a valuable skill that can save you time, money, and a whole lot of headaches. In the next 10 minutes, we're going to demystify the process. We'll break down the intricate systems that keep your vehicle running, the tools you'll need to fix them, and the steps to diagnose and repair common issues. This isn't just for professional mechanics, this is for anyone who's ever been curious about what's under the hood, anyone who's wanted the satisfaction of fixing their own car. So, whether you're a seasoned gearhead or a complete newbie, there's something in this video for you. Tighten up your seatbelts as we take this ride into the world of car machine repairs. Before you can repair a car machine, you need to understand how it works. At the heart of any car lies the engine, a complex machine that turns fuel into motion. It's made up of several key components, each playing a crucial role in the overall functioning of the vehicle. Let's start with the engine block, the foundation of your car engine. It's essentially the home for the cylinders, and a passageway for coolant and oil. The cylinders house the pistons which move up and down, compressing the air-fuel mixture and sparking ignition. Next is the crankshaft, which converts the up and down motion of the pistons into a rotational motion that your car wheels can use. This is connected to the transmission, a sophisticated piece of machinery that helps regulate power distribution based on your car's speed and load. Then there's the camshaft, which controls the opening and closing of the engine's intake and exhaust valves. It's crucial to make sure the right amount of air and fuel gets into the engine and that exhaust gases get out. Your car's fuel system, consisting of the fuel pump, fuel filter, and fuel injectors, ensures that the right amount of fuel is delivered to the engine at the right time. The cooling system, including the radiator, water pump, and thermostat, keeps the engine from overheating, while the exhaust system helps get rid of waste gases safely. The electrical system, including the battery, alternator, and starter, powers everything from your car's lights to its ignition system. Understanding these components and how they interconnect is vital. When one part fails, it can affect the whole machine. For example, if your fuel system isn't working properly, your engine might not get the fuel it needs, which can lead to a host of problems. Knowing these basics will help you diagnose and fix problems more effectively. Remember, a car is a complex machine, but with patience and understanding, you can learn to repair it. Armed with this knowledge, you're well on your way to becoming a car repair whiz. Just like a surgeon needs a scalpel, a mechanic needs their tools. First off, a socket set is a must-have for any mechanic. This versatile set of tools is ideal for loosening or tightening various nuts and bolts. Next, we have the screwdriver set. From flatheads to Phillips, a good set of screwdrivers will help you with screws of all sizes and types. Now, let's talk about wrenches. You'll need a set of combination wrenches for those hard-to-reach places where a socket won't fit. A torque wrench, on the other hand, is critical for ensuring the correct tightness of bolts, thus avoiding potential damage. Pliers are another essential tool. They come in various types, each serving a unique purpose from cutting wires to gripping and bending. Lastly, but certainly not least, is the multimeter. This device is perfect for diagnosing electrical issues, allowing you to measure voltage, current, and resistance. With the right tools in hand, you're ready to tackle any car machine repair. Now it's time to play detective and find out what's wrong with the car machine. When diagnosing car machine problems, it's important to remember that your senses are your best tools. Pay close attention to the sounds, smells, and sights that your car is giving off. A keen ear can pick up on unusual engine noises, which can be a telltale sign of a problem. If you hear a whining, grinding, or knocking sound, it can indicate a range of issues from a loose belt to a failing transmission. Your sense of smell can also be a powerful diagnostic tool. A sweet, syrup-like smell might mean a coolant leak, while a burning odor could indicate an overheating engine or a brake problem. Next, visually inspect your car. Look for leaks, loose wires, or unusual wear and tear. Don't forget to check under the hood and under the car. A pool of fluid underneath your vehicle is never a good sign, and the color of the fluid can tell you a lot about the source of the problem. For instance, green or orange fluid typically indicates a coolant leak, while a reddish fluid might suggest a transmission or power steering issue. The feel of the car when you're driving can also provide clues. If your car is shaking, pulling to one side, or feels sluggish, these can all be signs of various issues. from alignment problems to engine trouble. Remember, many car machine problems share similar symptoms. For example, a misfiring engine could be due to a variety of issues, from a dirty air filter to a malfunctioning spark plug. Therefore, it's crucial to not jump to conclusions. Instead, use your findings as a starting point for further investigation. Finally, don't underestimate the value of a good diagnostic tool. Many modern cars come with onboard diagnostic systems that can provide error codes, pinpointing the source of the problem. While these tools can be helpful, they are not infallible and should always be used in conjunction with a comprehensive manual inspection. Once you've identified the problem, you're halfway to fixing it. Now that we know what's wrong, it's time to get our hands dirty and fix the problem. Let's start with one of the most common issues, a faulty alternator. If your car's battery isn't charging properly, it's often the culprit. To fix it, you'll need to disconnect the battery for safety, then remove the serpentine belt and unbolt the alternator. Once you've replaced it with a new one, bolt it back in, reattach the belt, and reconnect the battery. Next, let's tackle a misfiring engine, another common annoyance. This can often be traced back to the spark plugs. To replace them, you'll first need to remove the spark plug wires. Then, using a spark plug socket, remove each spark plug one by one. Replace them with new ones, making sure to screw them in by hand at first, before tightening with a wrench. Once they're all replaced, reattach the spark plug wires. Moving on, if your car is overheating, the thermostat might be to blame. To replace it, start by removing the radiator cap and draining the coolant. Then locate the thermostat housing, unbolt it, and take out the old thermostat. Pop the new one in, reassemble everything, and refill the coolant. Of course, safety is paramount during any repair process. Always wear protective gear such as gloves and safety glasses. Make sure your car is securely lifted if you're working underneath, and never work on a running or hot engine. It's always better to wait a bit for the engine to cool down before you start your repairs. A squeaky brake is a sign that your brake pads need replacing. To do this, start by loosening the lug nuts on the wheel. Then lift the car and remove the wheel. Remove the bolts on the caliper, slide it off, and take out the old brake pads. Slide the new pads in, reposition the caliper, and bolt it back on. Finally, put the wheel back on and tighten the lug nuts. Lastly, if your transmission is acting up, you might need to change the transmission fluid. Start by locating the transmission pan and draining the old fluid. Then remove the pan and replace the filter. After that, reinstall the pan and refill with fresh transmission fluid. Remember, these are just some of the most common car machine problems. There are countless others that you may encounter, but with patience, the right tools, and a bit of elbow grease, you can tackle them head-on and keep your car in tip-top shape. And there you have it, a repaired car machine ready to roar back to life. That's a wrap on our crash course in car machine repair. We've certainly covered a lot of ground. We started by understanding car machines, getting to grips with their complexity and diversity. It's a vast world out there, with each machine having its own quirks and intricacies. We then moved on to the tools of the trade. As we've seen, having the right tool for the job can make all the difference. We looked at the common tools you'll need, as well as some specialized ones for those trickier tasks. From there, we dove into diagnosing the problem. This is where your detective skills come into play, looking for clues and piecing together the puzzle to figure out what's wrong. Finally, we got our hands dirty with the repair process. We walked through the steps, showing how with patience, perseverance, and a little elbow grease, you can fix just about anything. With these skills, you're now ready to tackle any car machine repair that comes your way. Remember, practice makes perfect. Happy repairing.